It's day 2 of the World Lacrosse Men's U21 World Championships in Limerick, Ireland. Group B play commencing with Puerto Rico and Team Israel. Their U21 squads will have at it here on a beautiful day in Limerick, Ireland. The University of Limerick, Ireland's sporting campus, already have had a couple of games in the books so far here today. Puerto Rico making their first U21 World Championship appearance. Israel back after a 6th place finish in 2016. Captains meeting in the middle of the field. We will get you set and ready to go. But first, step aside for these messages. You're watching Lax Sports Network. Welcoming you back live to the University of Limerick here in Group B. So these 4 teams in Group B will be competing. The top 3 will go on to the 12-team championship bracket. The best of the 2 fourth-place teams in pools B and C will move along to that championship bracket as well here as we continue through the next week and a half of tournament play. It's Israel, Czech Republic, Japan, and Puerto Rico in this group. So they kick off play here today. As I mentioned, we've already had a couple of games here this morning in Ireland. A 14-0 win for Jamaica over Latvia, that in Group C. And then in Group E, we had the Netherlands in a close one over Sweden. That was 10-9. But back here on field 1, as the goalies shake each other's hands. Ben Friedman in goal for Team Israel to start there today. The Tufts soon-to-be sophomore. Should be exciting to see. A couple of Tufts players on this Israel team as they will look to get set and ready to go here from Ireland. Colin Baez, Jacksonville University at the face-off X here for Puerto Rico to start, as we look to start here in the first quarter. 15-minute running clock quarters. They'll stop it after 30 seconds, below 30 seconds for quarters 1, 2, and 3, below 2 minutes in quarter 4. Oren Goldman is at the X for Israel. No shot clock play here in World Championship play, as we have a whistle and a false start. Baez was ready to go. Unfortunately, 2 ready to go at that. Goldman wins the faceoff, and it'll be Israel with possession to begin. They're headed by Seth Mahler. Puerto Rico, Sean Mowry is their head coach for the duration of these games. Israel's continued to ascend amongst the world standings, of course, hosting the Men's Senior World Championships back in 2018. Shot there at the cage, and our first save of the day comes for Jaden Algarin. Goucher College sophomore. His Twitter handle, Mr. Brickwall23. So looking like that here to start. Now we'll see what Puerto Rico can do in the clearing game. An aggressive Israeli team making it very difficult on Christian Laureano. Tiptoeing there along the box, flips it there dangerously in front of the goal, and finally scooping it to Algarin is Kreidler. So now Puerto Rico will try again. Like I said, no shot clock here, as maybe some of these first U21 World Championship jitters get into Puerto Rico, as Kenny Kay II controls things, and kind of a hectic pace here to start. This is Brandon Aviles, Syracuse University, to be senior here in just a couple weeks. One of the best short stick D middies in the nation. You'll see him more featured offensively, a little bit of a different role for this Puerto Rico U21 team than you normally see him at Syracuse. Aviles now working here in the top. Now they work it over to the right side. That's Owen Fasuka. Aviles looking to shoot. He does shoot, and he scores. What a start for Puerto Rico in their first World Championship at the U21 level. Aviles gets on the board. It's 1-0. Kind of just settled in, got a shade of a screen there from Christian Laureano, and Aviles time and the space for the score. A freshman All-American back in 2020. Played in 14 games for the Orange last year. Did score 3 goals, more of, as I mentioned, a short stick D midi role than anything else. 32 ground balls, 9 caused turnovers on his season. But as you can see, he can shoot the rock as well. 1-0 Puerto Rico. Another violation on the face-off. Baez scrapping in there, actually lost his helmet, and the penalty will go against Goldman this time. So Puerto Rico gets possession. There must have been a reason Baez's helmet came off, and that's why Goldman was whistled for the infraction. Now Puerto Rico goes to work on offense once again. Owen Fasulka with the ball. Puerto Rico's pre-tournament ranking came in 9th of the 23 teams. Senior team just qualified for the 2023 World Championships. Good ball movement here. Couple steps for Laureano, and that shot goes just a bit wide past Friedman. Laureano from Bradenton, Florida. There's Joshua Balcarcel. Good pass in front and a better save by Ben Friedman. The goalie from Newton, Massachusetts, Middlesex High School. To be sophomore at Tufts. He's one of the players for this Israeli team that took that gap year, in which you'll see some of these Israeli national team players do. They'll go over to Israel, they'll coach, they'll play, they'll experience the culture. A lot of them love it. He was their U20 national team goalie in Prague for the U20 Euros. Had a really good tournament then as well. 58% saves then. So Israel really trying to grow the game. They bring players of their heritage, potential national team players over there for those gap years, if you will, kind of like an exchange student type program, if you want to call it that. And from hearing from these players, it seems like an incredible experience to see what the culture is all about. Heavy defense by Mercado, though. Israel gets free, and that shot goes wide, backed up by Algarin behind the cage. One to nothing here, just a little less than 5 minutes in to this first quarter on field one here in Ireland. A nice platform for both of these teams. Expecting a good game today. These are two countries that have really invested in growing the game. The depth in the game has corresponded at that with both of these. Puerto Rico Lacrosse just founded in 2015, but they've continued to move their way up the world rankings through the last few years. Players scattered throughout the United States that make up this Puerto Rican team. Little skip pass over the middle. Now they look down to the doorstep. Out there is Friedman battling with Balcarcel, and it's Friedman who wins that battle. Good job by the goalie, come out of the cage. Friedman also played in the Israel Premier Lacrosse League Winter Bubble in December 2020. Led that league in all the goalie categories, and some of these other players on this team played that too. And for them, of course, after not being able to play, some, of course, in high school as well in 2020, that was almost like a breath of fresh air, getting them back on the field, on their feet, playing the sport. And I think it really helped develop a lot of not only technique and fundamentals, but love for the game too, back once again. Ahsoka here for Puerto Rico. Now they'll work it on top to Christian Laureano. His brother on the team is Sean Laureano, both out of Cardinal Mooney in Florida. Sean an attackman, Christian a midfielder. Initiating from the top, Captain William Mercado. Look to the right, didn't find anybody. Instead he goes to X with Balcarcel. Into the middle he goes, the shot stopped Fasuka stoned by Friedman. Another save for Ben. That one stick to stick more so. No change in levels. So 1-0 remains the score. We enter the midway point of this first quarter. Group B play. Haven't really seen a real settled possession thus far for Israel. This is unsettled. The pole shot is just wide. Greg Wells taking that one. Going to be a senior at Tufts. Backed up by Joey Kraft out of Newton, Massachusetts. Kraft looking back over the middle, wide open in the middle. And unable to find the goal there was Israel. That was Shalev Tal, wearing the number 25 here. Here's Kraft once again, gets it jarred away. Picks it back up, working on Kay. Takes the shot and he scores! Joey Kraft gets Israel on the board, it's 1-1. Played in 6 games his freshman year at Tufts. Going to be a sophomore this year on the club circuit, one of the top scorers at almost every event he has played in. So he is tried and true and tested and showing us all why here. Good move, not bad defense by Kay. Just allowed Kraft to get his hands a little bit too free, and that's what scorers do. Another face-off violation, these two, and trying to sort of work through these rules, and that's a part of the learning curve, you know, for a U21 event. Of course, pushed back a couple of years, was supposed to be U19. Going from the high school to college, now international rules. Face-off-wise, can't be easy. A lot of changes in rules over the time, and now a lot of physical play. Draws a flag. Team Israel player clutching his knee was down as well there. That was the face-off man, Goldman. Appears this does prompt a clock stoppage. We don't have many of those, but there's a lot that happened here. Hear people on the field asking, what's the flag? I think we're also waiting to see what the flag is. Looked like a cross-check 1-minute penalty. That's going to go against Team Puerto Rico here. So they will be called in that kind of the scrum for the ball, getting a little bit too physical with Puerto Rico. Israel going on the man up here. 5:50 to play in the first. 1-1 the score. Couple quick passes trying to find that open man, and now they drop the ball. Costly turnover for Israel when they had a man-up situation. Now Puerto Rico will have a chance to kill off this penalty. Let's see if they can do so. Have had some trouble in the clear. Long pass from Algarin. That gets away. Picked up, though, by Sean Laureano, Christian's brother, the younger brother of the two Laureanos on this Puerto Rican team. And you get into the sure hands of Aviles. That's always a good sign. You have a couple of veterans mixed in with some younger players as well, some high school seniors to be, along with college freshmen, sophomore, and Aviles, who's going to be a senior at Syracuse. Just the nature of this tournament, a very unique one in that. They've been playing these U19 World Championships every 4 years since 1988. It's been 6 years since our last. COVID-19 and other ideas, the pandemic, but obviously, everybody here in Ireland thrilled to have these games in this tournament after 2 long years of waiting. Laureano working up that slot. Now he finds his way inside and scores. Puerto Rico gets their second. It's 2-1. Laureano from Bradenton, Florida, a Mercer University sophomore, played in 5 games his freshman year. Just got himself a step, stacked himself on top. Scrapes the ice to celebrate. He talked about the tryout for this team, did Christian. Said it was filled, one of the ones he went to, he said it was such an eclectic mix of about 15 different people. Some were born in Puerto Rico, some spoke Spanish as their first language. Others like him, born in America, spoke very little Spanish. And really an interesting group, he said, that he got to be a part of and be able to grow with. And now, of course, this group has grown into this U21 team. A competitive one at that, a 2-1 lead. Like we said, this is certainly an intriguing matchup. Day 2 of the tournament. Israel finishing 6th overall in 2016. They lost 10-7 against England in that 5th place game. If they win that game, they're in Group A. They're just on the outside looking in and would love to take that next step here. Here's Itai Habaro. Works it over to Abramovich, captain for this Israeli team. Ashkelon, Israel, is where he hails from, one of the best scorers in the Israel Lacrosse League. Gets it back, works goal line extended, skip pass, couple step shot, stopped, Algarin. Flag, though, happened on the pass, will stop play. Interference. They're going against Marcus Kreidler, so Israel will go on the man up. 2:16 to go here in the first quarter. Time continues to run. Another look here at Israel on their man up. They failed on their first one, turned it over. Puerto Rico then was able to get the man down goal. Here we go again. Here's Kraft. He has the goal for Israel. Now coming down Habaro. Back out to Kraft. You're looking in the middle. Couple steps there. Open was Bar David. I think that went off the crossbar. Now a feed into the mass of bodies in the middle. Picked up. Shot. Stopped by Algarin. Another scrum right in front of the crease. And back the other way comes Aviles. Surveying, passing, shooting, and just over the top missing was Fasulka there. Another quick restart there. Behind the back goes Aviles, stopped by Friedman. 1 minute to play in the first quarter. About this speed off the dodge, Mercado, he falls into the crease. Friedman, a good job of standing tall there in the net. Athletic goalie is Ben Friedman. Saw him come out earlier, and they're up to the task against Mercado. Mercado looks to get that. Instead, it's going to be Zach Mateo, Hartford Community College. It looked like a good check, but it's going to get whistled. Kreidler once again just came out of the box and exasperated at that call. Thought he was clean, and instead it was not. And maybe there was actually a whistle. The whistle ended up being a timeout. Excuse me, a timeout here on the field. 27 seconds to go. We'll step aside while they talk things over. You're watching the World Lacrosse Men's U21 World Championships on LSN. Lax Sports Network brings you 64 games of the Men's U21 World Lacrosse Championship over the course of 10 days. We have 2 more live games later today at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, just about an hour and a half. It's China against Chinese Taipei. Then at noon, you'll see Hong Kong take on Korea. Watch those games at laxsn.com. Live lacrosse from Limerick, Ireland, right here on LSN. 27 seconds to go in a wild action-packed first quarter here in Limerick. Field 1, the featured field for Puerto Rico and Team Israel. Their U21 squad's going at it. Israel a timeout amidst the chaos as they will look to get one last possession here. Starting quickly, though. Like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, no shot clock. You'd never know it here. You probably wouldn't even need to talk about it if this was a college game. .14 on the clock here for Israel. They trail 2-1 here. Kraft bowling over his own teammate. Now he looks to the doorstep. Good catch on the inside. Shot by Abramovich is, I think, Algarin got in the way as the final seconds, I believe, have ticked off the clock here. There you go. The final seconds are off the clock, and that'll do it here for the first quarter. A good first quarter at that. Goals from Christian Laureano, Brandon Aviles for Puerto Rico, one for Joey Kraft for Israel. It's the Puerto Ricans up 2-1 here as we head to the second quarter on Lax Sports Network. Blue skies in Limerick today for the second day of the World Lacrosse Men's U21 World Championships. 2-1 Puerto Rico over Israel after one. Lax Sports Network's coverage of the U21 Men's World Lacrosse Championship continues tomorrow. Join us at 11 a.m. Eastern for our featured game, Japan and Israel. You can watch the game live from Limerick, Ireland on any of our digital platforms. You'll be able to find it. Just look. Go to laxsn.com. You can do that too. The list of links is there. Or you can watch it right there on laxsn.com. It is that easy to watch a lot of lacrosse. So when you wake up in the morning, put it on, and then have it on throughout the day, go to sleep at night, get some rest early so you can wake up again and do it all the next day. That's my schedule for the next 10 days, so it should be yours as well. All right, so here we are in the second quarter. Tom Eschen with you on the call. Appreciate you joining us, as always, as we are alongside the shores of the River Shannon here in Limerick, Ireland, the long-awaited World Lacrosse Men's U21 World Championships underway yesterday with 3 solid performances, including Ireland running away from Germany. Second half of that game, if you saw that yesterday. Meanwhile, here, day 2 is underway firmly as Puerto Rico here and Israel go at it in Group B. 2-1 Puerto Rico after 1. This has been a bit of a rougher battle than we've seen in some of the first games so far. A little physical play. We've had a couple of man-up opportunities so far for Israel. They're 0 for 2 on those. 2 goals scored for Puerto Rico, Christian Laureano and Brandon Aviles. Joey Kraft for Israel. Face-off. Baez goes too early. So both of these face-off men just trying to get the timing of these rules down. It does change. It's just a little bit different depending on what section you're playing, whether that high school, college, pro, or internationally. So they'll continue to work and probably get the hang of it here as these games go on, and maybe as this game goes on too. Here's Itai Habaro. And looked like we had some changes here for Israel. That could result in an illegal substitution. That is exactly what it does. Another thing to get a hang of here. So Puerto Rico will take over and get the ball back on offense. This is Baez. Baez coming up on his second year at Jacksonville. You heard, if you watched LSN the last couple days, Travis Eldridge's interview with Brandon Aviles and Colin Baez, and you could hear just the pride in their voices of what it means to represent the island in Puerto Rico. Really cool. Flag down. Free play here for Puerto Rico after some changes as well by Israel results in a penalty. Couple passes on the inside, little spin move for Sean Laureano. He gets it back out. And now we'll hear what the whistle is. .30-second, I believe, infraction is what it's been called here against Israel. Both teams doing a lot of subbing here. Man up, man down units. So here we go, 6 on 5. Puerto Rico with their first man-up situation of the day. About 3 minutes in to this second quarter. They lead 2-1. Viles works it around, couple steps. Now they get to the doorstep. The shot and the score. Sean Laureano joins his brother on the scoreboard. It's 3-1. Pretty nicely executed man up for this Puerto Rican team. They're playing well together here today. Joshua Belcarcel with the assist on that one. As Sean and Christian both on the scoreboard. The Laureano family has to love that. The thing about these two is that they really never were able to play all that much together in high school. They both, of course, went to Cardinal Mooney in Florida. But 2020, as you know, nothing really worked out high school-wise. In 2021, Christian broke his jaw at the beginning of the year. He came back for the last couple of games of the season, but they never really were able to play together all that much. So what an opportunity to play for their country here, doing it on this stage. Baez took the face-off, got hit as he shot. Flag goes down once again. A 1-minute penalty going against Israel here. Baez hit hard as he went in aggressively. Cleanest takeaway so far for Colin Baez. Like you see with some of these face-off guys, once they get that timing down, once they get the hang of it, watch out. So another man-up opportunity here for Puerto Rico, this time for a minute here, 11-12 to go in the second. Couple steps for Aviles, takes the big shot, and no one there to back it up, so Israel will take over possession, trying to kill off this penalty. You can hear that Israel sideline. Seth Mahler saying, kill the foul. Native of Connecticut, who had been living in Israel since the organization's inception, Israel Lacrosse. Played on the Israel field and box men's national team since 2012, co-captain as well. Director of the men's programs. He's been the head coach of the U19 team 2016 as well. So has some experience here. And now as they work to clear back at even strength, Israel looking to go. Be trying to get something in the unsettled Abramovich. 5 minutes into the second, 3-1 Puerto Rico. Physical battle. +700 athletes right now between the U15 boys and girls teams in Israel. That's where lacrosse is going there. You can tell that that's a lot of athletes and a lot of spaces. As taken down is Kraft. Penalty on that play. That's going to go against Kenny Kay. Kraft using his body to back in. Not much Kay could do. .30-second holding penalty against Kenny Kay now. Yeah, so yesterday I did the Haudenosaunee England game. We had maybe 1 or 2 penalties tops. We've had quite a few here in this one. Physical play has spawned some flags. Now let's see if Israel, another opportunity on the man up, can take advantage. A couple fakes from Bar David and doesn't get much on that. Algarin, an easy save. Back at even strength as Vasuka works his clear, Mercado in the middle. And timeout called by Puerto Rico there. Probably a good one there by Sean Mowry, the Camillus, New York native. St. Joseph's alum on the sidelines here for Puerto Rico. So they call a timeout with 8:22 to go here in the second. 3-1 Puerto Rico. We continue here in Limerick. Puerto Rico a 3-1 lead over Israel with 8:22 to go in the second. Puerto Rico just taking a timeout, trying to get things settled maybe for a clean offensive possession. officials today. Frederick McCarrick, Adrian Marcinkowski, and Jaime Chan here working our contest here today. Our fourth game already of the day here in Ireland. We are up and running. Just about 1:30 in the afternoon, and do a good job of drawing up a play out of that timeout for Joshua Belcarcel. He gets his first goal, 4-1 Puerto Rico. A man on the original U19 roster in 2020. Born in the Bronx, New York, to a Puerto Rican mother and a Guatemalan father, lived in Staten Island until he was 5, moved to Pennsylvania after that. But comes with that Puerto Rican heritage, representing his country well. About to be a junior at Marist. He's a feisty one, and that's why he's a captain. So 4-1 here, Puerto Rico now. Scramble here after the faceoff. I think Mercado was tripped up there. Yeah, he was. Trojano kind of got in way. Brandon Perkins now with possession. Perkins sort of works his way around, and they work it on the offensive end. Puerto Rico winning another faceoff. Baez has felt like getting some momentum here himself. Here comes Marcel Vernon Jr. Christian Laureano has a goal, as does his brother Sean. Slide comes, now a switch. Got a short stick on him. Dishes off, shot. Mercado stopped by Friedman. Friedman gets his third save of the day here. That's one they needed. See if it spawns a little bit of life offensively here for the Israeli team. Just that one goal by Joey Kraft in the first, about midway through that first quarter. Going about another quarter of time without a goal here. Dodge with the pull. Ball is just outside the cage. Algarin makes the stop. Can't make that clearing pass, though. More checking in the middle. Perkins pops it up. Well, fakes there from Bar David. He looks to get it back outside. Israel trying to settle in. This is Barnoy, 16 years old with the ball in his stick. Like I said, you'll see kind of a mix of a lot of different kinds of players from all sorts of levels here in this tournament. More experience than we've ever seen, but still some great young talent out there. A look on the inside, fake, body, and no goal. In the crease was Kraft. They're going to call a penalty, though, a slash before all that happened. So no goal. The penalty happening prior to Kraft going inside there. So a slash is going to get called against Puerto Rico, it appears. You can hear that sideline for Israel wondering why I think the Israel side, as we were trying to listen in to figure out what exactly is going to be called here, arguing against Kraft actually being called for being in the crease there, that he was pushed in the back because of that, because there was a penalty called on Puerto Rico. That Israeli sideline wants an explanation here. I think this, let's see. Going to be the Israeli ball here. So we had 2 penalties on the play, 1 illegal procedure in the crease and 1 a minute slash on Carbo Cologne. So one's a minute, one's 30 seconds, which means the first 30 were even strength. The second 30, the Israelis are up a man. So they'll work this, I'd imagine, down to that 30-second unless they see something open. Until they get their next attacker on there. So now working across is Kraft. He takes a shot amidst all of this. That bounces way out. And somehow went back into a stick after that. And another penalty has been called. This is going against Israel. Puerto Rico gets to pick it up. Chaotic circumstances. Good fast break. Picked up, stopped by Friedman. Robert Del Ross on the doorstep, and Friedman able to get him and stone him. Friedman keeping Israel in the game here. As right now their offense, it's been a bit sluggish, you could say. Hasn't really gotten going at all, just the 1 goal. How about that check from Aviles? A caused turnover and gets possession for the Syracuse senior. What a play. Now here comes Brandon Perkins. Perkins takes it in his left, went for the swing move, is thwarted. A nice play there. Alex Kaplan getting his stick in the midst of all of that. Mahwah, New Jersey native. He was a part of that winter bubble trip in 2020. Kaplan, this defenseman for Israel, just made that play to stop the fast break. He said after the pandemic almost thought his lacrosse career was over. Last season of high school was canceled. Said he had more work to do. The page wasn't turned just yet on lacrosse in his life, and here he is playing in a world championship event. Friedman way out of the goal. Bar David here with possession. Now they have it on top. Bar David got into this program after his brother played in the 2018 World Championships. Move on the inside, Abramovich. Trying to get it to that left hand, then he serves it over the top. They're going to say that was deflected off a Puerto Rican player, Kenny Kay. 90 seconds to play in the half. 4-1 Puerto Rico. Kraft. He has the goal. Came midway through the first. They haven't scored since. Defense, their eyes all over him. Another penalty called against Puerto Rico. The dish, the shot. Wide from Ariel Guinea. But that was a free play for Israel. They'll get now another man-up situation. Let's see if they can cash in on this. They have been unable to cash in so far. They're fourth, 0 for 4. This is their fifth 0 for 4 today so far. Kraft takes the shot. Actually never even gets there. Telemaco deflects it in front of him. And with the ball almost on the ground there, a quick timeout by Seth Mahler, and Israel will talk things over. 29 seconds to play. And with those 29 seconds, we'll take a quick break and then wrap up the half after this. Well, on day two, the physical play has certainly arrived here in Limerick. A lot of penalties here in this one, though. Israel has been a beneficiary of those on their side of things. Haven't been able to cash in just yet. They are still a man up. 29 seconds to play here. They trail 4-1 in this Group B matchup between the Puerto Rico U21 squad and the Israeli U21 squad, as Israel just take a timeout. 29 seconds to go in the half. They trail 4-1. Joey Kraft is where the ball has been going through. Just finished up his freshman year at Tufts, played in 6 games there. Went to the Rivers School for his prep days, now collegiately at Tufts. "20 seconds here on the clock. They work the man-up situation. 10 on the penalty. Ball in front. Kraft tries to scoop it. Cannot do it. Picked up here by Ross. And now Puerto Rico just trying to play keep away probably here for the final 2 seconds, and they're able to do so, killing off the penalty in the process. First half, first 30 minutes in the books. Puerto Rico, all sorts of fired up. A 4-1 advantage over Team Israel at halftime here in the University of Limerick. You're watching the World Lacrosse Men's U21 World Championships on Lax Sports Network. Halftime just about over with here in Limerick. It is 4-1 Puerto Rico, the U21 squad, ahead of Team Israel. As we are 30 minutes in the books, another 30 to play, though, here on a beautiful day. Sunny, temperature approaching 80 degrees. Just a wonderful time of year, a great time for a lacrosse tournament, as you could say. We'll continue to roll on through here for the next, 9 days or so, up until next weekend when we crown a champion and see where everybody else fits in here as we play now in Group B today. Top 3 teams from pools B and C, and then the best 4th place finisher from those pools will join the 5 teams from Pool A in a 12-team championship bracket. So these are key moments. Puerto Rico finished with possession and in a man-up situation at the end of the second, so they start the third with the ball. And they apparently had an offside penalty, and now it'll be Israel who takes possession back over. So much for that advantage to start. Meanwhile, Puerto Rico with goals from Brandon Aviles, the Syracuse 2B senior, Sean and Christian Laureano. The Florida brothers, a quick shot here from Abramovich. Stopped by Zelenik. Stopped by Algarin now in front. The defenseman got the piece of the first one. Algarin got a piece of the second. He had a very good first half himself, the goalie here for the Puerto Rican side. That's his 6th save of the day. 3 for Friedman. He's going to be tested here. Shot goes wide. And he backed that up too, showing that athleticism once again. Here's another look as Aviles, who scored the first goal of the game for Puerto Rico, gets his hands free early. 4 penalties on Puerto Rico in the first half, 3 on Israel. Israel only able to take advantage of 1 of those. Puerto Rico did score in a man-up themselves. Now Israel with possession here. Everything else pretty even. Shots 10-9 Puerto Rico after 1. Appreciate you joining us here on Lax Sports Network. Tom Eschen here with you on the call. Abramovich right into the midst of Algarin. He gets hit at the end, though, and there comes a flag in once again. It's been a lot of that here today, almost simultaneously or right after the shot is hit, guys getting hit, and that's been a point of emphasis for our officiating crew. So another opportunity at a man-up for Israel. Looking to cash in here. Pool B comprised of Israel, Czech Republic, Japan, and Puerto Rico, if you were curious. We work our way here in the third quarter in Ireland. 6 years since our last U21 World Championships. All these players have been waiting a long time for this opportunity. Joey Kraft, the goal for Israel, midway through the first. Their only goal of the half. Couple steps down and the shot stopped by Algarin. Bar David took that shot, see if he can pick it back up. He does, he shoots again. Algarin the backup. A nice sequence there for Algarin, a couple saves for Mr. Brick Wall. Baltimore, Maryland, Concordia Prep. Came in relief duty at Goucher College this past year. Save percentage still about 50, not bad. He continues to look to grow his career, doing it here internationally now with Team Puerto Rico, and he's doing a good job of that against an Israel team, as we mentioned. Knew this would be a good game here today. Israel finishing 6th in the last U19 World Championships in 2016. Just a few whispers away from that Pool A. Vernon Jr. Now they work it to X. Balcarcel feeding. Couple steps for Walpole. Like it flew out of his stick, and Friedman is back there once again. He leading the league in backups as a goalie, Ben Friedman. Been representing Israel since 2018. Feels like Israel, though, over the last few minutes, ending with that second and now into the third, has settled themselves down a little bit more. You'd imagine they're going to get a couple better looks because of that. Feels like the things have evened out, even though it's still 4-1 on the scoreboard. Now they got to do that. Barnoy, now they got to score. Abramovich, a captain. Actually, a couple of these guys in Team Israel played in the U13 World Series of Youth Lacrosse back in the day. He was one of those, Abramovich. Turnover, though, here, Puerto Rico. And Friedman way out. He's got to get back in the goal. It's wide open. That ball's got to get picked up. It is not. Instead, Fasulka gets it. And now it does come back into the hands of Team Israel. Alex Kaplan. Aviles there in the middle. Oh, how about that pickup and the spin move? Setauket, New York is where Aviles hails from, and you can tell he's the leader of this Puerto Rico team. His cousin, Joe Scally, might hear that and have heard that name before. A U.S. men's national team member, has a couple caps at the men's senior level, and soccer we're talking about. Plays for Mönchengladbach in the Bundesliga in Germany. Actually gave Aviles some advice about, international play and how you kind of handle things just a little bit differently. Couple steps, the shot stopped by Friedman again. Laureano can't get it past him. Christian Laureano, that is. Oh, Carcel. Dictating from X. They switch, he gets a shorty on him, leaves the defender in his dust and scores. What a move. 5-1 Puerto Rico as Balcarcel gets his second of the day. Talking about putting your defender on skates. Everything in his bag of tricks here. A little inside roll, goal line extended, the easy finish. He had 3 Division I schools interested in him to play football out of high school. He wanted to play lacrosse. Came out of Milford, Pennsylvania. Now at Marist. Legal procedure there called on Goldman. Baez, the de facto winner of that faceoff. He's gotten some momentum there himself. 5-1 Puerto Rico, so they get a big face-off win after the goal. Kind of always helps you settle things down and really keeps the other team from getting into any sort of run. This is Sean Laureano, excuse me. Laureano continuing to work, draws a whistle in the process. And with all that going on, actually, Sean Mowry calling a timeout in that process. So we are midway through this third quarter. 5-1 Puerto Rico, still holding Israel off the board. We'll be right back. Back live in Limerick. 5-1 Puerto Rico, 7:25 to go. They have possession here after a goal by Joshua Balcarcel a few moments ago. One of the captains on this team. They talk about what he might lack in size. 5'7", 165, makes up for it with his game IQ, and you could tell he was dictating that last possession for sure. Another one of the leaders on this Puerto Rican team, a captain over the duration of these U21 World Championships. Of course, you'll see many of these games here on Lax Sports Network over the next week and a half or so. Pretty much just keep on checking in and you'll find a game. Someone in the world playing lacrosse here for the next week and a half. Earlier today, Jamaica, a 14-0 win over Latvia as Friedman makes a nice save. Netherlands, a close victory over in Group E, 10-9 over Sweden. This game at 5-1. Wales and Kenya had started just a little while ago. 1-0 Wales leading Kenya as we speak. That was actually, excuse me, Kenya, that game, I'm looking at that score, though they call it 1-0. Kenya had to forfeit that game. They will hopefully be here by the weekend. Had some travel issues. That was the game that was supposed to start here about 9 minutes ago today. Israel looking for a goal, and getting the side of the net is Kraft. Couldn't find his second. And now back the other way comes Puerto Rico. Marcel Vernon Jr. now. What a pretty break. Christian Laureano gets his second of the day. Good feed by Vernon. Unselfish play at that. Puerto Rico up 6-1. They continue to run, and they took that save and went all the way the other way with it after the missed shot by Kraft on that side of the net. How about Puerto Rico really pushing the envelope, getting up and running? Saw Vernon there working the break, a kid out of Windham, New Hampshire. The Hill School in Pennsylvania. 5:35 to go in the third, 6-1 to score. So Christian Laureano has two, as does Balcarcel. Face-off win moving forward for Baez. Baez takes the shot, bouncer over the top of the crossbar. Like I said, you can see the momentum with Baez. Played in 4 games with Jacksonville this past year. 7 for 15 at the X. What a season they had under John Galloway. It was interesting, Baez was talking to our Travis Eldridge about the season for Jacksonville and how he goes, yeah, we're winning these games people to make sure everyone knew it wasn't a fluke. I think they're here to stay. What a cool place for lacrosse. Aviles working along the crease. A couple of white shirts in there. Thwart him in that. Now a D twig as Israel looked the clear. I think that there was too much contact as Fasulka with the big bump. Actually going to call a penalty here, 32nd on Fasulka, a hold. It'll be Israel on a man-up situation with 4:10 to go in the third. Once again, they get an opportunity, but how about this man-down unit? That's been excellent. Kraft, another save for Algarin. Barnoy has the backup. Algarin up to 9 now. 4 seconds on the penalty. The skip pass. They get it into the middle. Bounces away. Another pass. Shot over the top of the cage. Israel retains possession. About to be even strength here, though. In the middle, Abramovich looks to shoot. Can't get it cleanly. He gets hit. Another flag will fly. I mean, this has been the brand of lacrosse for Puerto Rico here over the course of these 3 quarters. It's working. Their 7th penalty of the day. Another chance for Israel. Habaro. Now they go in the middle. Back to Habaro. Abramovich. Habaro looked to flip it up, and it goes up and over the head of Abramovich. Failure on the man up once again for the Israelis. Puerto Rico, I mean, if they can play that physical and keep Israel off the scoreboard, why not? They have a 6-1 lead here in the 3rd. Israel hasn't scored since the 1st. Laureano gets fouled, and now the flag will fly there. Puerto Rico going to work with possession and a penalty to come after here. It's going to be a minute on Israel. So Puerto Rico will get an opportunity at a man up now. Diego Ucros to start it with his stick, entering his 3rd season, playing in the MCLA with Florida State. Takes a look for a second there. They want to keep the ball moving, though. They've done pretty good here on the man up today. Gotten themselves some good looks. Another skip pass. Aviles shot. Backed up by Sean Laureano. And a quick score there off the timeout. It's Aviles who gets it. Puerto Rico adds one on the man up. A 7-1 lead. Here it is once again. Beautiful passing and a cut by Aviles, who gets his 2nd of the day. I'd imagine if Gary Gates watching this game, he's got to love this to see this from Aviles. No, a kid that plays short stick as good as anybody in the country, an All-American. You can see what he can do on the offensive end. That really gives you a whole different element to your team. So 7-1 Puerto Rico as we approach the end of the 3rd quarter here. 30 seconds to play. Goldman comes out with it. Israel needs a spark. They haven't scored since the 1st, and it's been the defense that has really started all this. Algarin, the backbone, of course. That was Zach Mateo getting the caused turnover. Carbo Colon now taking it the other way. 8 seconds on the clock. Maybe that shot too soon. Maybe this one also too soon. Greg Wells heaving that into the stratosphere. So that will do it here for the 3rd quarter. Puerto Rico keeps Israel off the board once again. They score a couple goals on top of that. 7-1 Puerto Rico. Final 15 minutes of play coming your way next. Back along the shores of the River Shannon here at the University of Limerick. A beautiful day for lacrosse. We've had lacrosse all day. Here on Field 1, Puerto Rico a 7-1 lead over Team Israel at the World Lacrosse Men's U21 World Championships. Tom Eschen here with you on the call on Lax Sports Network. Thank you for joining us as Puerto Rico has shown up, especially defensively here today. They have been excellent all day long. Colin Baez wins this faceoff to begin the 4th. But the defense holding Israel to just 1 goal. Israel, a team that comes into today, they were 6th overall at the U19 World Championships back in 2016. Their box team, one of the best in the world. Their senior team, 7th in the world. They just finished 7th. They played at the Sixes tournament in Israel in the World Games, but Puerto Rico, new kids on the block, their first U21 World Championship, could be getting their first win here in their first game today if this keeps up. Wolpole had an issue picking it up. He gets it back, though, and now here he comes. Feed over the middle. The shot and the score. Sean Laureano, his second. Look what he found in his stick. And then he found the back of the net on top of that, matching his brother Christian with 2 goals today. This play wasn't all that pretty from the start. Walpole figured out how to pick up the ball, and then looked like for a second Sean didn't know if he had the ball or not, and Valcarcel, another nice feed. His second assist. Valcarcel has 4 points today. 8-1 Puerto Rico. Laureano was named as an alternate originally on the U19 team a couple years ago. Obviously now he's aged up and continued to get better over the years and has proven himself to be a valuable member of this Puerto Rican U21 team. So 8-1 here. Pass high for Israel. They're gonna have to work on a couple of these things and maybe get also that man-up offense, because they've had plenty of man-up opportunities. There's been 4 penalties in a row on Puerto Rico at the end of the second quarter, now into the second half, that Israel's been unable to score on. So that's been a big problem for them. Be a whole different game if they had been a lot more efficient on the man-up. Offside call on Puerto Rico. Israel going to try to get back and out of the box here quickly. Good news for this tournament is that everybody plays again pretty quickly after today. So, yeah, you don't have much time to work on things, but once you get your feet underneath you, you're off and running. How about the backup from Algarin after that miss? It was Ido Bar David who was open, and really scattered was Puerto Rico. Algarin, a key backup for this team. Puerto Rico will play again tomorrow. They'll take on Czech Republic. Israel against Japan. We will have that Israel and Japan game. Japan has continued to ascend here internationally. Both men and women playing really well, especially this past summer. Nice little move there by Mercado. Now he feeds X. Valcarcel out to Christian Laureano. The bull dodge. Good feed to his brother. They get it back inside. How about the passing? William Mercado, the finish. A Christopher Newport Sr. gets his first of the day. Unselfish squad, and we've seen that all day long. Mercado with something to say to the crowd, pumping them up too. Starts with Christian Laureano, the bull dodge. Popping open, his brother Sean and Mercado. What a cut. He's all sorts of fired up. A high school wrestler, played in 7 games this past season with Christopher Newport, I should say. Will be a senior there, math major. Violation there on Baez. About 5 minutes into this fourth quarter. 9-1 Puerto Rico. Continue to play physical there as Colin Bermudez looked like he got that stick over the top, and that flag will come in. Asking for a stop the clock here in this situation. 2 flags on the field, so the officials need to talk over where these will be adjudicated. It could be a possible 2 men up here for Israel. That was pretty physical play. Our crew led by Frederick McCarrick, Adrian Marcinkowski, Jaime Chan. It appears that we had 2 penalties on the same player, Mauricio Colin Bermudez. And it will be a man up for Israel. 6-on-5 right now. Looks like they should get a couple of possible scores out of this, as Colin Bermudez will serve his penalties one at a time. Less than 10 minutes to play here in the fourth. Good shot, good strong shot, and a good strong save. A good look from Abramovich. Unable to get it through. He looks again, Bar David. Now Abramovich, another shot, another save by Algarin. Zelenik came out with it. Israel got to try to keep possession here. Don't forget, they've got the man up still. Got to keep the ball. Legal procedure amidst the chaos called against Israel. So Puerto Rico gets to pick it back up. They get down to burn out the penalty. Ross shoots, scores. Man down goal for Puerto Rico. They're in double digits with 10. Robert L. Ross from Pembroke Pines, Florida, Wheeling University. A little bit of a give and go there with his buddy, Owen Fasuka, who gets the assist. So 10-1 Puerto Rico, man, they look good. And to get that after a minute and 30 seconds of penalties on Colin Bermudez, that's bonus here for Puerto Rico. Picking up Nelson Telemaco, Israeli player down. Telemaco, an infringement there to pick that ball up, and now see Aviles going down to take a knee. Ron Goldman, he's been fighting in that X all day long with Colin Baez through some of that physical play. Every ground ball has been, it always is, but it's been a physical battle here today. So no penalty per se against Puerto Rico here, just Israel will get the ball after the procedural penalty. So 7:55 to go, 10-1 the score. We are back to even strength now after the penalty served. Less than 8 minutes to go, 10-1. Israel looking for their first goal since midway through the first quarter. Joey Kraft scored way back then. Now it's Trojano. Trojano just seems like they are having a really difficult time getting the ball even to Algarin, and when they do, he stops it. Doing a great job today is Algarin. He has 12 saves on 13, with just 1 goal past him, that is. So behind the back flip taken away, Aviles, who else? One of those great players who looks like he's going to be able to do it all for Puerto Rico all week long. Here's Christian Laureano. Pass to Laureano, off the pipe. Bounces back out into the middle, battle for the rebound and the ground ball. It's Laureano that picks it up. Gotta love the makeup of this Puerto Rico team. You have Valcarcel, who works in that quarterback role in this offense. You have Laureano, the midi, that can initiate from the top. Sean Laureano looked like a good finisher, too. Brandon Aviles, the do-it-all midi. Heavy shot from Mercado. Gobbled up by Friedman. Friedman's 8th save. 6 minutes to play in the fourth. Thanks for joining us here for this presentation of the World Lacrosse Men's U21 World Championship in Limerick, Ireland. Group B play. Puerto Rico U21s taking on Team Israel. Puerto Rico with a big 10-1 lead here. Physical battle. Arbo Cologne comes out with it. Meriden, Connecticut. St. John's University. Another shot by Fasuka looking for his first goal. Backing it up is Sean Laureano. Christian. They call it yellow, as they have several times here today. That's the work the offense deal. Feed in the middle for Walpole, can't gather it. Quick little flip towards the cage, stopped by Friedman. So sitting about 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon local time here in Limerick. Temperatures warming into the right around 80 degrees today. This is a beautiful time of year. Might get some rain later on this weekend. We'll see what it all looks like, but this is certainly a great time to play and have a lacrosse tournament in this part of the world. Timeout here on the field for Israel. We will step aside. 4:24 to go. Puerto Rico, a 10-1 lead. Back live here in Limerick, 10-1. Puerto Rico with the lead. 2 goals for Sean Laureano, Christian Laureano, Brandon Aviles, Joshua Belcarcel, who has 4 points today. 2 goals, 2 assists. As Puerto Rico makes their U21 World Championship debut, this competition debut for this country, and what a debut it has been. 10-1, and they've held Israel. We talk about the scorers all the time, and if you know me, I'm a big fan of defense. Their defense, their goalie, Algarin, has been really good all day long, too. Algarin with the 12 saves, and the defense holding Israel to just 1 goal, and that happened about midway through the first quarter. It's been a wonderful effort from Puerto Rico. So Israel trying to get themselves some momentum. Of course, they've got group play to continue as they'll compete with these 4 teams, trying to finish in the top 3. Those top 3 teams will move on to the championship bracket. Good dodge, good finish. Abramovich finally gets Israel on the board. The speed dodge by Ronan from Ashkelon, Israel, and it's the first goal since the first. He leaves some of the Puerto Rico defenders in the dust. So Abramovich gets himself on the scoreboard, 10-2. Little fist bump there between Baez and Goldman. It's been those two at the X all day long here today. Figuring out the rules, figuring out each other. Goldman from Netanya, Baez from Milton, Georgia. And he wins this face-off. You know, you hear Goldman and Netanya, of course, the host of the 2018 Senior Men's World Championships. I mean, it's certainly a different feel, a different world for these athletes from Israel. You hear a lot of them talk about decisions and life decisions they make after high school, where they are drafted into the military or play lacrosse and get a sports exemption, and some make that choice to go and be a combat soldier, to sort of give up on the sport for a little while, then come back and play after that. As another goal comes, Fasuka, Puerto Rico. But some of the athletes on this team, you know, made that decision to go into combat for their country, and now they're playing for their country on the field a few years later. So certainly, you know, a whole different world, a whole different perspective, and that's kind of the the beauty in all of this. And these players get to learn a lot about each other and see a lot of people from a lot of different places. (11-2) Puerto Rico. Fasulka gets his first. Go along with an assist today. Less than 2 minutes to play. This is where the clock stops in the fourth. So if you're going to watch more of these games as the week and a half goes on, in the fourth quarter, clock stops under 2 minutes. Under 30 for quarters 1, 2, and 3. Little kick there for Baez as he wins another faceoff. He's harassed by Ethan Dick Turtle. Dick Turtle, really good defenseman. He had 90 ground balls this past year as a junior in New Jersey. He was voted the best sophomore in New Jersey in 2021. Best player of all the sophomores at Tenafly High School. So really good year. And I mean, 90 ground balls as a defenseman. Those are some good numbers there. You're scooping up anything and everything. Those are Zach Currier type numbers. And I mean, Currier does it with a short stick. Abramovich looking for another good move. And he has his second in a row. 11-3. Kind of that same formula as they get him a bit of a screen, get the defense a little distracted. Swimming his way through, moves his hand to his left, and maybe getting them some momentum as they head into tomorrow's matchup with Japan, which you'll see right here on Lax Sports Network. I'll be on the call for that one. Excited to see this Japan team, see what they have in store. As you could feel everywhere else, lacrosse certainly on the up and up there. In a country dominated by baseball, in Japan, they've had a lot of players, a lot of athletes go the way of lacrosse if baseball didn't work out. Just a note for that game tomorrow that in Japan, the majority of lacrosse players don't start playing until they get into college. That is the case right now as they continue to work on developing through the youth leagues and whatnot. But they've been able to bring along these athletes pretty quickly, and that's given them some results here internationally. Another save for Algarin. And Friedman doing a good job on his end, too. That was Friedman on his side. As both these teams trying to take every moment to learn here. 21 seconds to go. Timeout here on the field. 11-3 the score. With that, probably a good opportunity to tell you more about our coverage here on Lax Sports Network. We have 64 games of the men's U21 World Lacrosse Championships over the course of 10 days. 64 games in 10 days. We have 2 more live games later today. Coming up in about 20 minutes, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, it's China against Chinese Taipei. That game is at noon. That's a Pool D game. And then after that, you'll see Hong Kong take on Korea. So that game's at noon. Hong Kong, Korea's at noon. The Chinese Taipei game's at 10 a.m. Hong Kong and Korea, that's a Class D, Pool E game. Watch those games on laxsn.com. Live lacrosse from Limerick, Ireland, right here on Lax Sports Network. While we're talking about that, tomorrow you can also see more of these U21 Men's World Lacrosse Championships. 11 a.m. Eastern, our featured game here on Lax Sports Network, Japan and Israel. You can watch the game live from Limerick, Ireland on any of our digital platforms. LaxSN.com for the list of links, or you can watch it right there, LaxSN.com. Hopefully you're watching that here, so no need to change any channel. Bookmark it. Wondering about the format. It's pools A, B, C will go on to the championship bracket in each of their respective formats. D and E will have their own competition, the platinum bracket. Those are still developing, and really interesting to see those teams compete as well. Got some good athletes that have come along there. 10 seconds to go. Israel, probably their last possession, their last shot here before taking on Japan tomorrow. Bar David gets it out. Abramovich. And Habaro can't get a shot off, as that really, the tail of the tape here. The defense for Puerto Rico holding Israel without a goal for about 3 straight quarters. They win their first U21 World Championship game and their first appearance, taking down Israel here in Limerick in game number 1, as we have reached full time. 4 points for Valcarcel for Puerto Rico. Laureanos, the brothers, Christian and Sean, with 2 goals apiece. Sean also had an assist. Brandon Aviles, the Syracuse 2B senior, with a couple goals to his name as well. The final 11-3 here from the University of Limerick. Puerto Rico starts 1-0. Team Israel 0-1 in Group B. Puerto Rico has Czech Republic tomorrow. Israel will take on Japan tomorrow as group play continues here for the next few days. That'll do it, though, for our coverage for this game from the University of Limerick. For the rest of our team, I am Tom Esch, and thanks for watching. We will see you next time